Mulibwanji, how are you guys doing? My name Winger Stephen Sichone, and I was the host for today's book launch, which was written by James Masela. So before we go any further, I would like to ask a few people what they thought about the book, what they think about the book, and what they expect about the book. So to start with, I have one of my brothers from Afghanistan. You can come here, brother. You can introduce yourself, tell us your name, and you can tell us simply what you think about the book. So your name first.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Mashal. I'm from Afghanistan, but I grew up in Albania.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So what do you think about the book? What are your expectations when you go through the book?
Yes, I was talking to my friend Lawrence. That's actually the reason that I'm here. He told me about this book that some guys from some countries wrote such a book. And as long as I'm also an international student in Russia, so I was excited that through what things the students gonna be in Russia, especially Moscow. So it makes me interested to this book. So I came here to see what's happening actually after the first year of studying in Russia, to see what's gonna happen next. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. All right, so you already have the book yourself here, and it talks about, like, the title of the book is What I Wish I Knew as an African Child, right? And as you told me, you are not African, right? And so do you think you're going to find anything that you're going to relate with? Like, because you're not African, and the book talks about what I knew as an African child. Do you think you, as somebody who's from Afghanistan, is going to relate to the book?
Mm-hmm. So basically, that's why I'm here. I think that I would find related experience and stories there, because I see the process of studying in Russia as a process. The studying in Russia is a process, and these students are going to go inside this system and process, and the output is going to be something. So I'm also part of this process and this system. So I want to know more about this, especially from eyes of an African student. So what's going to happen? Of course, the study and the life for African students is complicated as well, which is complicated for me right now too. So it will be really good experience and really good book to read for now.
All right, thank you very much, brother. Enjoy the book. All right, so that was from our brother, and we're hoping that he's going to enjoy the book. And he just wants to see how African children grew up, and maybe he's going to find something that he's going to relate to. All right, thank you. Our next person that we're going to call upon is somebody interesting, because the person that I'm about to call is the brother, actually the young brother to the author, James Masela. So we're going to call upon Eugene Masela to come and, we're just going to ask him a few questions, and he's going to tell us about his brother. Eugene. All right, so just for the audience, can you please introduce yourself again?
Okay, my name is Eugene Masela. Yeah, of course, James is younger sibling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how has it been growing up with James?
Growing up with James has been an amazing journey. Yeah, he's one person I've looked to, like, in most of my aspects of life, especially academic-wise. He is somebody who's made me to always push to that level, because he's been always raising the bar. Now he's written a book which raises the bar even higher. So he's just someone who I look up to. Yeah, he's my greatest motivation. And growing up with him, I've learned so much. Yeah, he's one person I would talk to always when I have a problem. Even before I reach to my parents, I would first talk to him, then I would tell my parents. So he's a very great guy. Apart from being my brother, he's good to everyone, and
Okay. All right, so James has risen the bar. So are you going to do something like Michael Jordan stuff to reach the bar? Anyway, all right, so my other interesting question is this. Did you think at any point in your life that James would write a book?
Yeah, I thought so, but that thought was like, it came to pass. I actually, there was a time we went for church, then we were made to memorize some certain things, like what you become in future.
Right.
Then coincidentally, James received a writer, like he was supposed to say, I am a writer and Jesus is the way. So after he wrote this book and he published it, he told me about his book, and I was like, oh, this is why that really happened at church. It has now come to pass today. So I think, I thought he would be a writer, one day, and surely it has come to pass.
All right. Thank you. What do you have? What words do you have for the viewers that are watching us and those that have got siblings, brothers? What would you encourage them? Like, what would they encourage them to do? Like, there are people that are having brothers that are brothers and sisters that are having struggling relationships. But for you mentioned earlier that you look up to James, and he keeps on setting the bar high. So what do you have to that one person or those people out there that don't have that quite the relationship that you have with your brother? What are the benefits of having such a relationship that you have with your brother?
Okay, firstly I would start with for people who would have brothers they can't connect with, of course. Okay, it's actually a bit difficult to answer, but I'll try to answer in my so in case you might not have a brother, or you can connect with friends. There's a reason, of course, for why everything happens, and just because I have a brother whom I look up to, it's God's plan. I don't know how to explain that, but it's God's plan. And also, for someone who has a brother who, like, the brother maybe is not there, they don't look up to their brother, in short. What I would tell them is that you'd still there's a lot of great people you can look up to. It just doesn't mean if someone is your brother, you have to look up to them, but you can look up to great people. Of course, there are a lot of great people doing wonderful things in the world.
Okay, so now should we expect a book from you? And since your brother wrote 123 or 5 pages, should we expect you to surpass that?
Okay. On that part, almost everyone has been telling me about, no, we are expecting a book from you. For me, I love reading. And I don't really know if I have that ability of writing a book, but we'll wait and see what the future holds.
All right. Thank you very much, Eugene. Thank you very much. All right. There we have it. We had Eugene, the brother to James Masela, and he had this fair view of what he thinks about his brother and etc. All right. And now to take us through this interview, I'm going to call upon my Nigerian brother. I just want to see what he thinks about the book. Brother, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is David. I'm from Nigeria, and I came to support the launching of the new book.
All right, fantastic. So, have you read the book before, or this is your first time seeing the book?
It's my first time seeing the book. I haven't read it yet, but I hope to do so. I listened to the author, Mr. James, talk about his book, and I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think it's going to be very beneficial to me and for a lot of other people who haven't gotten the book yet.
Okay, so what are your expectations of the book? What do you expect to find in the book? What do you think, like, since we are all African, but we grew up with different cultures, but what do you think you might find relating?
Well, I think I hope to find a lot of things that I can relate with, and I also think it's going to help to change some mindsets that I had, or like just to shed some light about things that I didn't know before, and I think it's going to help me to grow as a person.
Right. Okay, so did you just get a book for yourself or for somebody else?
Oh, I got a book for myself, and I'm going to read it, and if I approve, I'm going to get it for all my friends.
All right. It's on camera, so when he approves it, we'll be waiting for that. So if he approves the book, he said he's going to get for you. So how many people?
A few, my close friends.
All right, close friends. Okay, so let's say 5. 5, more or less. Okay, 5. All right, my brother. Thank you very much, David.
Thank you so much.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, from David, our Nigerian brother, and he's going to read the book, and he's going to have his own thoughts about the book. Thank you very much. See you later. Hola, and we are back again. Joining me, what's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. How are you, Lawrence?
I'm very fine. How are you?
I'm very much fine. All right. So I would like to thank you on behalf of James. I would like to thank you for coming for the book lounge. So have you read the book before?
I have not read the book. I just bought it today.
You just bought it today?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you what are your expectations to find in the book? What do you think you can find that you think this I can relate to this?
Okay, I think we all have a shared experience as Zambians, right? So I'm looking for that point where like, I've gone through this before, and I wish I knew this in a different way. So that's what I'll be looking for in reading this book.
Okay, fantastic. So do you think only Zambians can relate to this book, or all African countries can relate to this book?
I think not just Africans, even people beyond that, because I think we have a shared experience of how we go through childhood and all this kind of stuff, even the expectations our parents have of us. So it's a similar thing which we go through, and I think any person can relate to this book.
Okay, so what can you tell to that one person who hasn't yet gotten the book?
You should get the book. I don't have to say anything more. You should just get the book.
Get the book. As you're getting the bag, get the book. You've heard him. All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Have a good one. All right. There you have it, guys. And we are back again. To join me right now is one of our Ghanaian brothers. I know what's going on between Zambia and Ghana, the dressing and stuff, but we don't care anyway. So one of our Ghanaian brothers came to support one of our own, James Masela, who was launching his book today. And I'm just going to ask him a few questions and we'll see what he has to say. All right. You can come to stage. All right. Can you please tell us what, you can come closer. Yeah. Can you please tell us what your name is?
I'm Randy.
Okay, nice to meet you, Randy. Okay, so do you know James on a personal level, or maybe you were invited?
No, I don't know him on a personal level, but then I heard about the book and then I've seen him do poetry at some places, so I decided to come and check it out.
All right, that's fantastic. So looking at the title of the book, you know, you are from Ghana, I'm from Zambia, James is from Zambia. Do you think you're going to find something that we are both going to relate?
Definitely. I read the synopsis earlier and I thought I could definitely relate to this because these are hidden things in my heart. I thought as an African child, and then I was so surprised to see that, well, I'm not the only one thinking this way, and it's so amazing to see someone step forward and then break that boundary of silence.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And hopefully it would be an interesting read. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, because you know what, the reason why I asked you that, because you know the title of the book is What I Wish I Knew as an African Child, but the author is Zambian, you know, because he might be writing just based on the Zambian aspect of how we grow up and everything. But hearing it coming from you, telling me that you read the synopsis and you kind of got a picture of what he's trying to say and you could relate just through that. So I believe even after reading the book, you're going to relate, isn't it? Yeah, so you got a copy for yourself or for somebody else?
For myself, but then I would definitely recommend it to others as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, brother. Take care. See you in Ghana, because now it's visa free, so definitely you'll see me in Ghana. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And